Hello? Can everyone take their seat, please? Okay, Tanya is making the list for the jury from those of you who've signed in. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I'm going to start with the prayer. Beloved Prime Creator of all that is, we thank you for the joy of this gathering of kindred souls. We were led here today by our awareness of our connectedness. We eschewed idleness and idolatry for involvement and for taking responsibility for not ourselves alone, but for our fellows and for our generations of families. We are grateful, beloved Creator, for the feeling in our hearts and spirits when we listen to you and feel your guidance and your protection, and best of all, your grace and your love. We have been learning and becoming increasingly aware of much of the truth of this beautiful planet, knowing we are but babes with much more to learn. While much of what we have learned these past few years has been tear-provoking and sadly unfathomable, that we had to see for ourselves the unsparing contrast of pure good versus vile evil, for there is no pure evil. It is simply vile evil. Learning this, we are emboldened because we have walked with you, knowing who we are, a precious fractal and part of your divine essence, the I am. This is the knowing. So we join as men and women, declaring our rightful place and determined to preserve the preciousness of life and that of our beautiful, innocent children. Beloved Creator, we are here as your foot soldiers and your voice, to shout in the ears of those who choose not to listen yet continue their business without regard. We are the social compact you've been looking for. We are the ones who are compelled to charge ahead for our unalienable rights, for equanimity and balance for the people, and for righting what got turned upside down and backwards by the greedy ogres and pirates who think they own us. So in great gratitude, we humbly thank you, beloved Creator, for these next few sacred moments together as one with the great all that is all there is, praised by our actions to the power and the glory of your ubiquitous, unlimited love that will always, always, always be our guide and reward. Let it be so, and so it is. I want to thank everyone who's traveled here. I think only two of us actually live on Salem, so it's been a journey for all of us to be here, not only physically and proximally, but internally. So glad you're all here. We have a suggestion, a remedy. When you create a problem, you see a problem, you want to deal with a problem, it's good to have a remedy. This keeps cutting out. Why? So we have a remedy for our demand for proper oaths from the sheriffs and really from our public servants as well. And you can come up and look at it. This is an example. This was posted right here in this courthouse once a month, not willingly by them initially, but pushed for it. And we got it. And and Brandon, who lives here on Salem, came regularly and photographed it as evidence that it was kept up for a full month. And I'm just going to start with this because this is what it's all about. Our vote today covers all of the ballot issues, and we already did ODOC, the Oregon Department of Corrections. But this one is all about the sheriffs and the enforcement that we need because we need their support. So they oath to the U.S. Constitution, 1871 and beyond. 1910 was a pivotal time when our judiciary took amended Article 7 amended instead of using the original common law form of law. So that was a significant change and it's fraudulent. So that's who these public employees, let's just put them employees, oath to is not that Constitution, not the Constitution, the original one of 1859. So, oath for county sheriff. This is our suggestion that begins the dialogue, hopefully. Even if they don't agree with this, at least it's a place to start and to talk about it. For the peace, safety, and happiness of the souls of the men, women, and their progeny on Oregon, I state their full name, elected as chief executive and conservator of the peace of the people on our county, do solemnly swear or affirm my duty as sheriff for said county on Oregon to support and uphold, defend and enforce original jurisdiction in the constitutions, both circa 1859. And I pledge to apply Oregon's lawful statutes and ordinances with compassion, and in all of my conduct, do so with honesty and dedication, as in the laws of nature and of nature's God. And then there's a place for them to sign, print with the date, and then 4 witnesses. So this is just a beginning, hopefully, that we are offering for them to come down to a level that they think they're loftier than us, but they're not. We're going to start with the ballot issues. Statement regarding sheriff's oaths. Now, how this will go is that I'm going to read each one. Just the synopsis of it as it appeared when we had the grand jury and it was voted on, and there was a true bill that came from that. And now we have the Petit Jury Trial. So first of all, I think, Tanya, if you'd go ahead and read who is on the jury. So when she calls your name, just say present or here. William Ryan. Kim Swager.
Here.
Sam Shadow. Rod Suez. Sorry. Catherine Huddleston.
Present.
Gary Darby. Robert Graves. Ann Byer. Patricia House. Here. Ron Broman. Eric Dover.
Here. Here.
No.
Here.
Then we have Cynthia Palmentier and Tanya Swift. Anthony Devon. So what we'll do is I'll read the first. It's actually the second issue. Go ahead, Phil. Yeah. So we only need 12, and we have additionals backup. Not everyone is voting. So the jury pool selected. I mean, the jury was selected from the jury pool, so no problem. So I will read this statement, and then she will call each of you for the vote if you are in agreement with the statement. Statement regarding sheriff's oaths. Sheriffs are without proper oaths. We notified them lawfully the first time in 2017, and they all acquiesced to knowing Article 7 amended was not legitimate and had no bona fides. We have gathered several invalid oaths over the last few years. 6 members of our court went to the annual meeting of the Oregon Sheriff's Association this year in Bend. We were seeking liaison and lawful oaths. We bought 2 memberships and lunch for 6. Our money was returned and we were excluded. We posted our paper, including a proper oath, on the Marion County Courthouse bulletin board, public bulletin board, for 30 days. After 7 years and several cycles of sheriffs not one has taken a proper oath. Therefore, they have 30 days to take their proper de jure lawful oath or vacate the office as they failed due process and have no honor and cannot hold a position of trust. Okay, we'll take your vote. William Ryan. Kim Swager.
Agree.
Sam Shadow.
Agreed.
Rod. Catherine.
Agreed.
Gary.
Agreed.
Robert. Ann. Patricia.
Agreed.
Ron. Eric.
Agree.
William. Cynthia. Guilty. Of course, me. I agree. Thank you. So now what we do, each of these issues is on our stationery. This is for the record. So we have the court clerk, who is Ron, court foreman, who is Tanya, and then two witnesses who sign this document for each of the issues that you've all voted on. And those will be put into our files for evidence for when something happens that's going to enforce this. I don't need to say more. Issue number 3, and when you cast your vote, please speak out loud so that it can be picked up here, because this is recorded. Sheriffs wrongly support tax-driven state of Oregon foreclosures and evictions. In our Article 3, Amendment 7 Civilian Common Law Court, we need to focus on the county sheriff's foreclosure on private property for delinquent property taxes. Every sheriff's primary and highest form of duty is to protect the people from our government. The sheriff should be supporting the de jure rather than the de facto when considering whether to uphold the foreclosure of private property and evicting homeowners. The ever-increasing property tax minimum of 3% per year eventually becomes unaffordable. The selling price becomes highest bidder rather than market value. In the end, the homeowner loses not only his equity, but his home. Take the vote. William? Tim?
Agree.
Sam?
I agree.
Rod? Catherine? Gary?
Agreed.
Robert?
Agreed.
Ann? Patricia?
Agreed.
Ron? Eric?
Agree.
William?
Agreed.
Cynthia? Agreed. And me. I agree. See? Here. Okay, issue number 4, FCC smart meters, smart bulbs, smart appliances, and surveillance. And first of all, I want to say thank you for those of you who contributed to the evidentiary proof here, the things that we all pretty much know, read about, or concerned about. Rod, for example, contributed to this. Phil contributed to the sheriff's in terms of the foreclosures. We've all had a hand in this one way or another, so thank you for your presence and for your contribution, which is invaluable. The smart meter is the Trojan horse on your wall. We've all been lied to and deceived about smart meters being efficient, safe, and reliable. These devices are actually radiating radio signals, i.e. radiation. I know, I've tested it. They are therefore injurious to our health, can ignite fires, and are a violation of our Fourth Amendment right, with the only advantage being to the electric companies, who no longer need to employ people to read meters. These revenue-generating meters read your smart appliances and smart bulbs, Those squiggly bulbs that contain mercury and are not to be landfilled but included in hazmat refuse. This technology has been forced on the masses, most of whom seem oblivious of their potential harm and of the deceptive practices of surveillance by the power companies at all. William? Kim?
Agree.
Sam?
Agree.
Rod?
Agree.
Catherine?
Agree.
Gary?
Agree.
Robert?
Agree.
Ann? Patricia?
Agree.
Ron? Eric?
Agreed.
William?
Agree.
Cynthia? Myself, I agree. And Anthony? Thank you. Issue number 5, Oregon State Police is post November 8th, 1910, de facto, illegal, and illegitimate. Oregon State Police was created August 1st, 1931. Because it was created post November 8th, 1910, it is de facto, illegal, and illegitimate, which makes it unlawful ab initio, that is, since the beginning. There is no evidence of it being properly amended and published in our Constitution. The State Archives is unable to provide proof of Article 7 amended being lawfully added to our Constitution when inquired of in 2018 and as recently as July 24, 2024. When a claim cannot be supported, it fails. The former last 2 superintendents and the current one, Casey Cotting, have refused to address our petition for redress of grievance this last July 2024. The Oregon State Police is fraudulent. The illegitimate Oregon State Police, at the direction of de facto Pete Brown, acting as governor, authorized the FBI to attend to Bundy et al. A homicide occurred and Robert Lavoy Finicum was killed. From its illegal inception through the homicide of Lavoy and up to today, the Oregon State Police is color of law, de facto, and all of its employees are without legitimate funding. Their pay should be stopped and provisionally reorganized as de jure and to function temporarily with oversight from the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly. William?
Agree.
Kim?
Agree.
Sam?
Agree.
Rod? Catherine?
Agree.
Gary?
Agree.
Robert?
Agree.
Ann? Patricia?
Agree.
Ron? Eric?
Agreed.
William?
Agree.
Cynthia?
Agreed.
Myself, I agree. Anthony?
Agree.
Thank you. Ballot number 6. There is no evidence that Article 7 was changed lawfully after the election of November 8, 1910, as there is no record of votes counted in each county. I want to do a little aside here. We just recently wrote a letter to Bill Burgess, who we've had many communications with. He's willing to converse with us, which is a unique quality that he possesses, and we're very grateful for that. I sent him a letter on Friday by email requesting that after this trial this morning, I will go across and we will collect the evidence of there being no vote on this issue at that time that brings in lawfully Article 7 amended. So to continue, there's no evidence, that is documentation, to authorize second-term Secretary of State Frank Benson to serve as governor for previous Governor Chamberlain, who resigned while in office. Benson maintained his seat as Secretary of State and assumed the office of governor at the same time, which is a constitutional impossibility. As a result, we have two ideologies in our Oregon Constitution, de facto amended and left de jure original in place. From this point on, it has morphed through a duality, which may exist to this day. That investigation has not finished, but we do know every court on Oregon is de facto and without bona fides or oath, except our Article 3, Amendment 7, Civilian Common Law Court of Record. That is us. That was, there was a statement in there as published in a newspaper with a clipping of an attached photocopy. A fire was alleged to have burned the ballots. Ate my homework. William,
I agree.
Tim,
Agree.
Sam,
Agree.
Rod, Cynthia,
Agreed.
Jerry,
Agree.
Patricia,
Agree.
Robert,
Agree.
Ann, Ron, Eric,
Agree.
William,
Agree.
myself, I agree. Anthony?
Agree.
Thank you, Tanya. Thank you, everyone. Okay, issue number 7 is somewhat related. Now, why sheriffs are involved here is that we need them to assist us in getting access to this information, because we're really, for the most part, shunned, or our requests are sent to legal, which is de facto. The attorneys, the Bar Association, have shut the people out. Every single institution here and in every municipality will not really consider us a legal. We're definitely lawful and we're legal, but they don't see it that way because they don't want to. Number 7, Oregon's de jure statehood documents circa 1849 unavailable. On or about June 2019, Deputy Secretary of State Richard Pial and Archives Director Stephanie Clark made an appointment with our Corps. Roger Tabb, Al Brown, Ray Stickle, bless his heart, and Ron Broman made an appointment to review Oregon's statehood documents and to find proof to validate the change made to Article 7 of November 8, 1910. Neither of them was forthcoming when our court arrived. Assuming this might happen, we served our declaration upon the Oregon Senate, the Office of Secretary of State, and the Office of the Attorney General mentioned with our claim against Article 7. We'll vote. William?
I agree.
Tim?
Agree.
Sam?
Agree.
Rod? Cynthia? Catherine?
I agree.
Gary?
Agree.
Robert?
Agree.
Ann? Patricia?
Agree.
Ron? Eric?
Agree.
William?
Agree.
Myself, yes. Anthony?
Yes.
Okay, issue number 8. We're almost done, you guys. 3 more. 5G concerns. How related to the webs and surveillance. Regarding 5G networks in Oregon, there is a division of opinions regarding 5G frequencies. Safety of 5G has never been tested. 4G safety has never been verified, even though it has been widely available for 10 plus years. Many studies have provided insight into the link between 5G and neurological issues, cardiac issues, cancer, to name a few examples. Take your vote. William?
I agree.
Kim?
Agree.
Sam?
Agree.
Rod? Catherine?
I agree.
Gary?
Agree.
Robert?
Agree.
Ann? Patricia?
Agree.
Ron? Eric?
Agree.
William?
Agree.
Cynthia?
Agree.
Myself, I agree. Anthony.
I agree.
All right. Number 9, toxic fluoridation chemicals must be removed from all drinking water sources statewide. The people on Oregon demand all water providers in the state of Oregon, aka the all caps State of Oregon, Inc., DUNS number 932-534-998, immediately cease and desist the toxification of our water supplies. With what we know now and have for decades, fluoridation adds toxic chemicals with numerous harmful health effects and must be removed from all drinking water sources statewide. No longer should this be a county to county or city to city decision, but should be ceased all across our state. Take a vote. William,
I agree.
Kim,
Vehemently agree.
Sam,
Agree.
Rod, Catherine,
I agree.
Gary,
Agree.
Robert,
Agree.
and Patricia,
Agree.
Ron, Eric,
Agree.
William,
Agree.
Cynthia,
Agree.
Tanya, yeah, I agree, and Anthony.
I agree.
Thank you. All right, this is the last issue, and it's a big one. Oregon State Bar, OSB, AMA, American Medical Association, and ADA, American Dental Association, as a pervasive dictatorial governance entity. All state licensing boards have dictatorial powers over their licensees. Oregon is no different. These boards are granted qualified immunity that plays out as absolute immunity by the state and federal courts for any decision they make, right or wrong, even if the latter was intentional. The Oregon State Bar, OSB, and the Oregon Medical Board, OMB, are both representative of these behaviors. All Oregon boards are unconstitutional, in particular when it comes to due process rights. The OSB, the OMB, OHA, Oregon Health Authority, Oregon's current and past governors, Oregon State's Congress, and numerous other Oregon state and federal bureaucrats, including state and federal courts, have been notified and informed of all concerns regarding the running and regulation of state boards. Nothing has changed. Public servants are not there for you, but to protect their own interests. And we'll take a vote. And I wanted to call to mind Chevron deference. If you don't know about it, look it up, because it has freed us from the kinds of input that those individuals are able in these boards and institutions to impose in the courts and on the people. William?
Agree.
Kim?
Agree.
Sam?
Agree.
Rod?
Agree.
Catherine?
Agree.
Gary?
Agree.
Robert?
Agree.
And
Agree.
Patricia?
Agree.
Ron?
What's that?
Can you hear him?
I can
Didn't
hear
hear
you.
a name.
William?
Agree.
Cynthia? Myself, I agree. Anthony?
Yes, I agree.
We missed Eric.
Eric?
Agree.
Thank you. Okay, all verdicts and votes were unanimous for 15 voters. And there are others present. We want to see how many are present here. either, on Skype because they couldn't travel. Okay, we have 21 who are in attendance. How many are on Skype? Just so we have it for the record.
We
5,
have four.
4.
Four.
4 on the Skype to vote. Two of those on Skype voted in our jury. Great. Thank you for your presence, especially those of you who traveled especially far. I know Phil and a couple of his friends, Gary and Keith, I think that's correct, came. I think probably you won the prize for coming the farthest. So I want to thank you very much. And it's so by your participation today, you've taken another step in our responsibility for correction, the de facto governance, and toward establishing our own self-government for your benefit and for the benefit of others. Every voice matters, and your efforts at being present are greatly appreciated. And Cynthia is going to read Article 1, Section 1. That is us, people on Oregon, assembled. And then she's going to do a closing prayer. And I will say that we're going to go to lunch, those of you who wish to join us. So not sure where yet, but we'll be tearing down and then we'll go to lunch.
Thank you, guys. So Article 1, Section 1, the Bill of Rights. We declare that all men, when they form a social compact, are equal in right, that all power is inherent in the people, and all free governments are founded on their authority and instituted for their peace, safety, and happiness. And they have at all times a right to alter, reform, or abolish the government in such manner as they may think proper. So I am very grateful to be here. I am very grateful for what we're doing on Oregon and for what it's going to actually mean for our nation. And I'd like to end in a prayer because I'm very grateful for what the Lord has done today. So Lord, I just thank you first off for no rain. We asked yesterday that we would have no rain while we did this, and we've had none. And so Lord, I just give you the glory for that. Lord, I thank you for all the people that has traveled here and those that are online listening. And Father, for all those that are going to see this, Father, I ask right now that you would awaken your people on this land and in this world, Lord. Awaken them, awaken them, awaken them. And Father, that you would give us creative ways in which to deal with the evil that has gone ahead and has done such destruction. And Lord, we know that you're going to take care of all this. And we just ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, everyone.
They do not want to let go of this. They do not intend on losing here. And we do not intend giving it back to them.
And then the bullets started flying. Then he jumps out of the car, and he's got both his hands up.
And he got out of the car, and he had his hands in the air. He's like, just shoot me then. This is what you want, just shoot me. And they did. They shot him dead. With his hands in the air, and I saw it. I swear to God. He was just walking with his hands in the air. And they shot him. And they shot him dead, and then after he was down on the ground, shot him 3 more times.